What's up, motherfuckers, and welcome back to another episode of Ellie Talks. Surgery / recovery. This episode is gonna be about. I have my sister today, or whatever.
Hey y'all,
because she's literally been with me through it all. Literally there. Literally, physically, mentally.
No, yeah, I've been there. Obviously, through it all, day one. You know, I'm the day one.
Yeah.
No, but like I've been going with her to all her appointments.
Even when I was pregnant, huh?
Yeah, even when she was pregnant, all her appointments. I'm like the baby daddy at this point.
Yeah.
Like,
no, literally, since I be telling my hombre like, it's okay, my sister's gonna go with me. It's okay, my sister. Unless it's like something like really important, you know, like the first doctor's appointment, like the first ultrasound, you know, or whatever.
Yeah. But yeah, I've been going to all the appointments with her and stuff. So I was there obviously on surgery day. So you guys are gonna get a little bit of the like her perspective, and then us like in the waiting room.
When I was in surgery.
Yeah, during the surgery.
When I was elevated.
She was
That was all gone so
high on that.
Okay, where do we begin? Right.
The day of.
Yeah,
the day of like
the day of. Yeah, because the last episode, I go check it out. I talked about like how
you're like,
dude, I'm hot, right?
over your leg.
Where it's because I'm not used to this big ring light. Oh no,
it's done. God damn it.
Tomamos una pausa rapidito. When you come back, bring the tissue box. I could block. Wait, let it get back in focus. We're focused, right? Upside down, bruh.
Go get it fixed is what you should do.
I have my DJI camera, but I feel like since we're sitting down longer to talk, I feel like it's too much energy on that. And then plus, this I have an extra battery, so if it dies, I could put it to charge. And then... Anyways, okay. So, yeah.
Are these on? Yeah.
Yeah, they are. My last episode, it was about me waiting for surgery. So now, surgery day of. Low key, I did it. Leading up to it, I was feeling like super nervous because I was just thinking about it and I'll be like, oh my god, dude, like I've never been under, like this is crazy, I don't know what to expect. And yo con los nervios, but honestly, I wasn't as nervous as I thought. I really wasn't. The day up, I was like chilling. I was like, okay.
Which is good because she would like tell us those things like, but I've never been under, like you know, all of the little comments, and we'd be like, no, it's gonna be fine, you're not even gonna feel it, like, you know. So I thought, damn, the day of, like, she's gonna be freaking out, she's gonna be scared.
I'm like, dude, they're gonna have to come and be like, ma'am, you're going under, shut up, you know. But thank God, no, we got to the hospital. Obviously, when I got to the hospital, si me pegó poquito. I was like, okay, okay, now it's for reals. And I cried very little. Like, my eyes just got watery, and Anthony was like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I'm fine. He's like, you need anything? And I was like, no, like, I'm chilling. But it was just like in the moment, I was like, oh shit, like, it's real
like
now.
The reality hit.
Yeah. And then whatever, yeah, me pasaron. They took my information. And then they're like, we're gonna take you to the bottom floor. And I was like, no. My sister wasn't there with me just yet. It was just my mom and Anthony. She wasn't there. She was being a mother or whatever. I was like, okay, you put your kids before me? It's crazy.
Dropping off my kinder, you know.
Yeah. So then we were there, and once we were like at the bottom floor, and I was able to see like everybody who was like getting ready to go into surgery, me pegó hasta más because my nurse was like, oh hi, you know, whatever, and she's like, I'm gonna take your way, and she tried making like plática with me, where she was like, oh, like, have you ever had surgery before? And I looked at her and I was like,
and you started crying?
Yeah, she's like, is your first time? I was like, she's like, no, it's okay. Dude, my eyes were like bloodshot red. I was like, oh, it's because just seeing everything.
And it looks crazy because right there, I did end up going, you know, but obviously when she was already situated in the room, but it's all divided into like little cubes, like divided by like those hospital curtains, and it looks like, whoa, like out of this world.
And then everybody just moving like in and out, and oh, you're ready for surgery? Let's go.
They take a man, take a man, go like all of, you know.
So it literally hit me right there again, but then I got situated, and then I was like chilling. By the time Kim got there, I was like chilling, huh? Yeah. I was like chilling. My nurses were very sweet to me and stuff like that. And because like I've had surgery before, like my C-section, but not like this, where like I'm completely out. So I was like, oh my god. But yeah, we were chilling there. My sister Yaya also came. We were chilling. And I remember I told you, I was like, oh my god, like what if I panic, like when I'm in the room, you're like, let's not think about that. You remember?
Yeah, I was like, girl, calm down.
Because I was like, dude, I feel like they're gonna like tie me down because I'm gonna be like, no, like run out of here, like Yeah, I was just thinking like, oh my god. But
basically, when she was there in that room before the surgery, they were just doing like all the
the testing.
Like all the things that they need to do before the actual surgery. Yeah, the IV.
Where they put my IV.
Blood work. Oh yeah, they couldn't find her vena, so they had to do it right here.
Right here. I saw the little dot, look. And I'll show you guys a picture of it being there on the side, because I don't know why that day my vena, it was like popping, it was like,
yeah, it was out, thick,
and she was trying here first, and then she's like, no, I'm about to put it here.
They're all right here.
Yeah, no, but even then she's like, I need like a big, she's seen this one, and she's like, no, this one's good because like you're gonna be under for a cool minute, so we gotta get those liquids in you. And I was like, okay, honestly, that hurt more than the surgery. Because I was out. Yeah, so
they went in
pretty much like when I was reading right there or whatever, ¿qué te iba a decir? It was just mainly talking, and we had said like just getting me prepped and stuff like that,
and going over paperwork,
and then ¿cómo se llama? The guy que me puso a dormir, ¿cómo se llama?
Anesthesiologist.
Yeah, he came in, and like my first question and my only question to him was like, am I gonna be out real quick? And he said, oh yeah. He's like, you won't even know. And I was like, okay, bet, just put me to sleep, bro.
Yeah.
And then the last person who came to talk to me was my doctor, and told me, again, what was gonna happen. They're gonna remove my left ovary and like my lymph nodes and all that or whatever. And I was supposed to get a CT scan before my surgery. That didn't happen because, dude, honestly,
there was a bunch of miscommunication with the nurses, the doctors, the insurance.
So she's like, well, it's okay, like we'll get it after your surgery at some point. I was like, okay, yeah. She like marked me where she was gonna go in. She didn't even go in through there, bro. The cuts were like are higher. Yeah. Nothing else. I think that was pretty much it from that point, huh? Right there in that little waiting room or whatever. Yeah, it was, and then here they come. Okay, are you ready? And I was like, no, but do I have an option? And
they said, what, too damn bad.
And right there too, my sister wasn't there, it was my mom.
No, I was in the waiting room because my mom had gone in at that point, and then Anthony obviously was there the whole time. He didn't go out.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I saw him come out, I was like where's Ellie? And she was like, oh yeah, se la llevaron. And my mom was like crying. And I was like, why didn't you tell me? I wanted to go in and like say like a little quick bye, like 1 minute. And she was like, no, pues es que llegaron like, de repente, and well, se la llevaron.
Like, oh. And it's funny because the whole time Anthony, he was like chilling, huh?
Yeah.
He was chilling. He even put me like a little YouTube movie too. Remember?
I know, dude, the whole time he was watching it. And hace cuenta, wait, can you see me? Oh. He was like this, but like, as me and him were sitting like this, and Ellie was like right in front of us, and this is Anthony, and Anthony was watching the thing, but he had it like así como pa un lado, so Ellie could see, and Ellie was over here on her phone. I was like,
on my phone, yeah.
And this I was like,
yeah. And then when they were saying bye to me, Anthony was just like, he gave me a kiss. He said, all right, see you when you come out. And I'm like, you're not like, where are we? like what's up? Like, and he was like, I'll see you when you come out. And I was like, okay. And my mom, obviously, she was more emotional, and me persinó y todo eso. She gave me a kiss, and she started getting like watery eyes, and then I seen her, and I was like, Mom, please, no, I'm standing strong, and like my eyes just got watery or whatever. But yeah, as soon as they walked out, I was like, okay. Me in my mind, I was like, okay, I got this. I was like, I haven't been panicking. Like, I'm chilling. I'm gonna get in there, like, and I'm gonna knock out. Just Jesus take the wheel. And yeah, they were like rolling me like to my room, and I was like, I was scared because I was like, as soon as I see the room, it's gonna remind me of my C-section, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna start panicking. Dude, thankfully I didn't. I got into the room.
Thank the Lord.
And everybody was there. They were like, oh, hello. Like, they were all nice, bro. Obviously, they do that shit like every day. It's another regular day for them.
Yeah.
And they were like talking to me and whatever, and like they passed me to like the table and stuff like that, and I was like, oh my god, here we go. I laid down or whatever, and then my nurses were talking to me, and then I don't know where las tres, like I was laying down, one right here, one over here, and one over here, and I don't know where they started talking about zodiac signs. I don't fucking know shit about zodiac sign, but they're like, oh, we seen your birthday's in July 27th. They're like, are you a Leo, or I don't even know which one the other one is before Leo, but you know how like the months, how they or whatever. And because she's like, oh, you're this, and I was like, no. I was like, I'm a Leo. I was like, because it's towards like the end of the month. She's like, oh, I thought maybe you were. I forgot what the other sign was because my dad, something like that.
A horse?
She started saying like her little story or whatever, and like I was just talking to them. I was like, yeah, I was like, I really don't know anything about like zodiac sign. And then I heard the anesthesia guy.
Oh, the anesthesiologist.
Yeah, him. I heard him, and I was like, he's here. I was like, okay. But they were still talking, and then the other nurse too was like, oh my god, no way, like my parents are compatible, like Cancer, Capricorn, like they were just saying a bunch of things, and I was like, I was just there like, this is not helping because like I was like, I really don't know about like zodiac signs. And then they just kept talking or whatever, and then out of nowhere I was like, oh shit. And I looked at my nurse and I was like, he did it already, huh? And she's like, yeah. Hey, yeah, huh? I was like, hey, huh? Like, hey, perra, tell me. And she's like, yeah. She's like, you're gonna start going to sleep. And I was like, yeah, I can tell.
And why didn't anybody tell me?
Dude, and I was out like a light, like the lights. I was out, bro. And I thought in that moment when I was gonna get
put down.
When I was, once they start that, like once I start feeling that, I thought that's when I was in a panic. Because you lose control. You can't be like, oh no, like I'm gonna fight it. Like nah, you're going down because you're going down. So I thought right there I was in a panic, and I thought they were gonna have to be like,
yeah.
Oh, the guy sí me dio the air,
the oxygen.
Yeah, the oxygen. But I think that's something to like calm you down or something. I don't know. But they said like, because he's like, oh, I'm gonna put you this mask is for you to relax and stuff like that. And then but I really found when like he injected the thing because it was through the IV. And I was just like, he did it already, huh? And she's like, yeah, you're gonna start feeling sleepy. And I was like, I could feel it. Boom, lights out. Oh, lights out. So then, right there, you could start going because
we were already obviously in the waiting room, and we were all just there. And well, yeah, I don't know exactly when they started, but obviously it was in surgery. But the doctor had told us that the surgery was gonna be like 3 to 3.5 hours long, like depending, like start time and all that. And well, we were keeping track. We kept track from the moment my mom stepped out, and then we're like, all right, around this time. And then we seen it was already like the 3-hour mark, and we're like, okay, maybe the doctor or one of the nurses is gonna come out and like give us a little update. Nothing. And then the 3.5 hour mark came, and tampoco nothing. And we were like already like, what's going on at this point? My sister Yaya was also there, and she like went and go ask like, hey, what's going on? And they were like, oh no, like once they're in the OR, like we don't really know until somebody comes out because nobody could go in. Obviously,
they can't really pop in and be like, hey, like what's the update?
Yeah.
And let me say something real quick because obviously after I know this, but I think you guys were also kind of like, what's going on? Because you would see a lot of doctors come out and not give so much good news to the other families.
Yeah, there was other families there that obviously were like there for like really sad reasons, like people passing or like people already like getting ready to get disconnected, sadly. And so I kept seeing that, and I was like, well, where's her, like Ellie's doctor? Like it's already the 3.5 hour mark. And so whatever, we kept asking, and then the one of the nurses, the first nurse, the one that was in there the whole time, se miraba como Filipina, Asian, something like that. I finally went again and asked her, and I was like you don't know anything, like you don't know like any little anything, let me know, we want to know, because we're worrying at this point, because we're like, dang, it's been a long time already, it's like been the 4-hour mark already,
Yeah.
And she was like, I just got word that like they're finishing up. And I was like, barely? I was like, oh, okay. And whatever, yeah, pasó eso. And then like literally like maybe another 30 minutes pasó, and then finally the doctor came out. And we obviously, she gave us an update that everything went really well. They removed everything they were gonna remove, like, so her left ovary, the left fallopian tube, her lymph nodes. And then she told us that she found another cyst. And I was like, she's like, that's why I wanted her to get a CT scan, so I could get a look of everything and make sure that I'm not missing anything, so that I know when I'm going into like the surgery what I'm going to remove and all that. She's like, but thankfully I was able to catch it and I took it out. And when she told us that, I was like, and she's like, but we sent everything out and like everything came back like cleared, everything's good. I sent out the lymph nodes, the left ovary, the new cyst that she found. She's like, I sent it all out and everything came back negative, clean.
Which the cyst was on the right ovary.
Yeah, the cyst was on the right ovary. So when she said that, she's like, so when I sent it out, when she said that, I was already thinking like, damn, they probably removed everything, or all of these things. But she was like, no, I sent it out and we got quick results, whatever. Everything came back negative, meaning no cancer. She's like, so I didn't have to remove the right ovary. And then right there it clicked, like, oh, no wonder, like, it took longer than it should have, because obviously she had to remove that other cyst. And I was like, well, thank God, you know, that she caught it and she seen it and she removed it. But and then obviously, well, she told us in English because she doesn't speak Spanish, and I told my mom everything. My mom was like, all happy, like, you know, gracias a Dios, everything came out good, and like everything was negative. But when I told her about this issue, like worried, I was like, no, she already took it out. Ya le dijeron que pues todo salió negativo, you know, like no signs of cancer anymore. Yeah. But that was us on that end, like in the waiting room area, like just waiting.
So under in surgery or whatever. And then pues de allí, I just remember I woke up in a room and like a nurse, like next to my thing is a nurse. Like,
mind you, we couldn't see her a whole hour after.
Oh yeah, because I had to.
She came out because she has to be like in a little recovery room. While she like is waking up and coming out of like the anesthesia.
I did not want to wake up, girl. I didn't want to wake up. And the thing is, the nurse you're talking about, she was. I remember her like barely briefly where I don't know where I woke up and I was like, oh, you know, like where am I? And like she was all like, hey, well, Elizabeth, like you're in recovery, you know, surgery went well. And I was like, girl, good night, like the hell. And I went back to sleep and I don't remember anything after that until I woke up again a little after and they wheeled me out. They were like wheeling me out to my recovery room or whatever, where I was
where like visitors could go and all that.
Yeah. And I just remember like I woke up a little and I was like, oh my god, like where am I? And I remember like hearing my nieces and my nephew a little, and I was like, oh, now they're here, doing good night.
Yeah.
And I seen them a little bit, not too much, but a little bit. I think I saw you. I think I seen like a little glance of you.
You only heard them and like heard Nico and then because. So I had to come and pick up my kids, obviously, and then I went back and I took them with me because I was like, wow, I need to take them with me, you know? And I don't know, dude, esto ya es cosa de Dios, porque I was wanting to go to the bottom floor where she first was because that's where I thought they were going to have her, like, during recovery to, like, go see her again, you know, after surgery, and they didn't. I don't know what, maybe one of the kids pushed something or whatever, but we went up to the 4th floor, the 2nd floor, I don't know what floor it was, but el caso was that we went up. And literally like when I got out, I realized that we're like in the wrong floor. So I was like waiting for an elevator to open so we could go back down to the actual floor that I thought she was gonna be in. Y en eso que se abre el elevator and then she's coming out in like the bed and then with the nurse and Anthony and my mom, and I was like, ay, and mom was like, ay, estás aquí. I was like, sí, pero I was like, por accidente, like yo pensé que like yo según la puché para irme para abajo en el piso donde estaba, pero no, she's like, ay, mira cómo son las cosas, and I was like, God, are you here? God,
yeah, he was.
You know, no, he literally was.
Yeah.
And so then, yeah, they wheeled her, and then they were like, oh, we're gonna get her situated, and then you guys could come in and see her, you know, whenever. And at that point, she was like kind of like woozy, like in and out. And I think that's when she remembers hearing the kids, because the kids didn't go inside the actual room, but they were there and they were all being loud. You know?
And I remember just again falling back asleep, and then in my room again. Like
she would come in and out.
I would wake up and I would be like, "What the hell?"
No, and she'd be like, "Where's Isaac?" She would every time she would wake up, "Where's Isaac?
Yeah.
Where's Isaac?"
And I just remember I remember like towards the end, and like when Kim got there, like towards the end, is when I would wake up and I'm like, "Where's Isaac? Where is Isaac?" And then I would go back to sleep.
But she was already doing that prior, like literally when we were like first going into the room, she would wake up and she'd be like, pero se levantaba así como, I'm like, girl, you just like calm down.
Where's my baby?
And she's like, where's Isaac? And I'd be like, oh, he's with your suegra.
And I'll go to sleep.
And then go back out.
Yeah. I'm telling you.
And then eventually, I had to go home, you know, with the kids and stuff. And thankfully, Kim was like, oh, like, what do you think she would feel? Should I go? I'm like, no, yeah, you should come, you know, because right now, Anthony's going to stay there. And they had told us that Anthony was going to be able to stay there. So we're like, oh, right, mejor que se quede, you know, su partner and whatever. I have my kids. I would have stayed if they would have let me, but I was like, mejor que se quede él. And so at that point, I had already left and my mom had already left, and Kim was already like on her way. She was coming. And then, so quedaron Anthony, Kim. And then later, like literally as I'm on my way home, Kim called me. And she was like, bro, they said that nobody could stay. And I was like, what do you mean? I was like, the doctor literally told us that, you know, only one person could stay, and that was going to be Anthony. And I was like, okay, well, and then they said that because there was a person next to you. That's why they weren't going to allow anyone. I was like, and it was a señora. And I told Kim, I was like, well, Kim, ask if maybe since you're a female, I was like, maybe they'll let you stay and not Anthony. And that way, I'm like, at least I just want somebody to stay there with her, you know? And we tried everything, telling her that was our cousin, that what about her mom, what about her sister, like we tried everything. And they were like, no, we can't. And then we're like, all right, well, how are you guys gonna make sure that she's safe if she keeps coming in and out of these like episodes, you know, waking up and go back to sleep? I was like, what if she wakes up and like tries to stand and falls, you know? I was like, tell them. At that point I wasn't there, but I was telling Kim, like, you know, please, like, ask, like, tell them, you know.
Yeah, because I was standing up from time to time because I didn't have a catheter. So I had, when I had to use the restroom, I would have to stand up, but I needed help because I was still like, oh.
Yeah. And I was just worried that in one of those, like, you know, parones que se diera, like, she was gonna want to actually stand up and like fall or like hurt herself, you know. But the nurse was like, no, like, we check in on her. And then I guess they had like the little tab on you. So like if you do a certain movement or too much movement, like they get
also
notified.
like the bed had an alarm. So they're like, oh, if you need help, like, make sure to call us because if you stand up, the bed will go off. So I was like, oh, something. Yeah, so, yeah.
Yeah, so eventually nobody was able to stay with her. She had to stay by herself.
Yeah, I remember I just told Anthony, like, oh, be here as soon as they open. And they said they open at 6. Liars! Yeah. They don't.
That's another thing.
Yeah, that's another thing. They weren't open that early because I told Anthony, I don't want to be here by myself, bro. Come as early as possible. And he's like, yeah, I'll be here. And he was, but he was outside. Like in the parking lot because
they wouldn't let him in.
Yeah, because they weren't open or whatever for the guests.
But he was there bright and early.
He was there bright and early, yeah. And yeah, I was in that room or whatever. I felt so bad for the lady next to me because no one was there. No one was there.
The day of the surgery, there was people there, but like I don't know,
like throughout the day and stuff like that. Like the next day, no. And then also like to go home, like she had to call her kids and like she was like, hey, I'm not a chismosa, but like she was talking like on like speakerphone, okay? So I was like, hey, what's up? And like her kids, bro, también nada que ver. They would
you told me.
Yeah, they were like, oh, but like if we get there, like can we like just, do we have to wait for you to get discharged here, or like, you know, let them know and like call us so we could just get there, pick you up and leave? I was like, come and check to make sure your mama's okay. What do you mean? Like, and the lady, she knew like a little bit of English, but she still had trouble like communicating with like nurses who only spoke English. So I'm like, dude, where
are your kids?
Yeah,
you know,
so
helping you translate.
Oh, bruh. Pero pues,
sad.
Así es. But yeah, I was there. Anthony was there, and then Kim had also came back the next day. She was there with me also for a bit.
Yeah. At that point, I didn't go because I was over here. I had the baby that day, her baby, and then my kids. And
remember that day to work, I was like, so you're gonna take the kids to school and then come over here? And you're like, girl, it's Saturday. And I was like, right. I forgot she has a whole kid there.
She texted me and she's like, oh, when you drop off the kids, you're gonna come. I was like, baby, I have all my kids. I was like, and your kid.
I'm telling you, I was like out of it, honestly. Whatever. But yeah, I was right there in the room.
What time did they just discharge you?
Like, I think it was like 3 or 4. Because llegamos a la casa a little bit.
Yeah, it was already later.
Ya en la tarde. But being there in the room or whatever, I was chilling, watching TV the whole time. Just to go to the restroom, like it was painful. You know, to try to like squat and stuff. My doctor did warn me that mostly patients who go through this surgery, like they complain about air right here in the shoulder. Dude, she was right about that, bro.
And that lasted for a good while.
Yeah, the air that's there, but any sudden movement, it just feels like tight and like, because they put air in my stomach to obviously blow me up so they could go in with a little camera and then, you know, do what they gotta do. So I was like, oh, Diosito. Other than that, I was chilling.
She got home.
No, wait, my doctor.
Recovery.
My doctor just came once to check up on me, and she's like, everything went good, and then she told me about the right cyst también or whatever. And that's it. Se peló a pasar, and she never came back. She never told me anything. Nothing. Just
until we saw her.
Yeah, it was just nurses that were coming in and out and stuff like that.
Mind you, though, obviously she's a surgeon, you know. She probably got surgeries to catch,
you know. Yeah,
and then that's not her actual like hospital where she works, so she only goes like once a week or something like that. Yeah,
so obviously when she's there to get stuff done, and that's why obviously the nurses are there, but even the nurses were lost because I was like, and they're like, oh, let me email your daughter, and I was like, girl, I don't got time, like I need to go home. My vato estaba más desesperado que yo. I mean, to be fair, he had a small ass chair. He's 6'1", okay? So like he only had certain ways and he would just be like, oh, I'm tired. And I'm like, how do you think I feel?
Yeah, I was gonna say, so what? You could have sucked it up.
Yeah, so, but other than that, chilling. They just made sure, like, they gave me that breathing tool or whatever, and I mean, that thing was more annoying than painful, honestly.
Yeah, because you had to like...
Yeah. And yeah, when I go home or whatever,
not like recovery deets.
Going into recovery, it wasn't the worst, honestly. It was obviously less painful than a C-section, because a C-section is like a bigger, deeper wound. And so it wasn't as painful, but it was like very like uncomfortable.
Obviously she can't sleep on her side, her stomach and stuff.
It's crazy because like they took away my left ovary, but I felt more pain on my right. So I'm like, what's going on here? And then I had like it looked like
she had like a dent. Like
it looked like a bullet wound.
Yeah.
Because it was like a dent, and then como estaba like hinchada. When I was hinchada, I looked like oh bad, bro. And I was all hinchada, like my legs and stuff like that, like my thighs, not my legs, like my thighs and stuff. Obviously right here where they did the surgery and all that. And it was literally all the liquids, because like if I would try to like rotate from one side to the other, like the liquid would like, it would like all travel and stuff. What else can I say about the surgery?
I mean, she hasn't carried Isaac.
No, like así
the only restriction they gave her was she can't carry more than 10 pounds, and homeboy is almost 20 pounds.
Yeah, so he's only 5 months.
So she hasn't been able to carry him.
Yeah, until my 6 weeks are up, which after tomorrow I have 2 more weeks to go. Right?
Tomorrow's 4 weeks?
Yeah, tomorrow's 4 weeks, yeah. So I have two more weeks to go. They didn't put me like no dietary restriction, but
her mama did.
My mom was like, no, puro caldo de pollo. And I was like, okay. Yeah, but slowly I started eating like my regular food and stuff like that. Using the restroom. That
was also another part that lingered.
Yeah, that was probably like the most painful, honestly, having to use the restroom. To this day, randomly I get like pains and I'm like, I don't know why. I mean,
but they gave her pills to like ease the stool.
And I took them for a bit, but then I'm like, I really don't. It's because, dude, we grew up with my mom being like,
we don't really take medicine.
You don't need medicine, don't fucking take it. And I feel like I don't need it because I'm not constipated like that. Even though the nurse told me that
it's constipation.
Yeah. It's just, I feel like I have a lot of trapped air still, is what it is. Because de que uso el baño, I use the restroom. Everything comes out. But it's just that sometimes when like I need un pedido por ahí, I'm like, it's a painful one. It's weird, I don't know. But yeah, obviously now I'm able to like run a marathon if I really wanted to. But you know, we're still gonna take it easy. What else? The recovery. That's pretty much it. Going on walks also was annoying because like dolor hinchada, and that's the one thing my doctor told me: go on walks. You need to go on a lot of walks because of the hinchada. But I feel like when I would walk, it was worse for me. And when I would lay down, I felt better. Because I'm telling you, like the hole right here from my thighs to like my stomach.
Dude, and you could tell, like she would sit down y se la hacía like así, like a big old bola.
Yeah. I tried taking pictures for YouTube muscles, you know, to like be able to tell the difference, but you really couldn't. It was more like in person that you had to see. But hey, throughout this video, I'll insert some pictures of pics of stuff like that. Okay, so then that's pretty much it for recovery, huh? But I guess the other thing is my doctor's appointment, like my checkup.
Yeah, she had a checkup.
My doctor literally, she looked at my stomach. She was just like, let me see your stomach. And I left it on my shirt. She didn't even like, okay, like, no, you're not swollen. She was like, oh, you're recovering good. And I was like, you don't want to touch? Like, hello? And it basically...
What is that red light? Oh, it's gonna die.
I pull for my battery. But basically, she just said that, like, I'm chilling.
Yeah, everything's good. Literally, that she's recovering really well. And then obviously, the next steps is like, basically, like her job is done. She did what she had to do. I think she's gonna have just one more appointment with that doctor, and then which is actually this month. But from there, other doctors are gonna be contacting her about like the chemotherapy, because unfortunately she still has to do chemo. And then obviously since they removed the left ovary, and then she's gonna be going through chemo, and that affects like the whole like uterus area and stuff. So like an infertility doctor is gonna be contacting her just to like you know, see her options and see like what she's gonna do. And the chemo doctor, what do they call it? What are the oncologists? No, I don't remember what.
I don't know what. Girl.
I don't remember.
I could barely remember for the anesthetic guy. Imagínate. Yeah. No, the doctor told me, she's like, if you can afford, look into like freezing my eggs. And I was like,
apenita si pude con esta surgery.
I was like, so se me mira la cara de pobretona. Okay. But I was like, man, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
But yeah, or whatever for that. So I could look into it and stuff. Yeah, but right here, yeah.
Girl, I was like, I'll have another kid when
I should have my kids. Well, but even with that, what does still have to do with my eggs?
I'll let you borrow an egg.
I'll let you borrow an egg. Sepa how that would work, but yeah, aquí. O sea, if just in, you know, if I can't, you know, for whatever reason, I can have another baby on my own. But obviously, that's why I need to extract my eggs and all that. But I'm like, can me da un pesito.
Literally.
Pesito.
We're gonna start a GoFundMe as. But I mean, it's just like right now. It's kind of just like a waiting game, just to see like when they hit her up, and then like when she goes and see them, which I will be there and I will be asking all my questions.
Yeah.
Like just to see like what are we gonna do? Because I know there's also like the doctor mentioned there's like 2 different types of the chemo that she could do, like a chill one and then the more aggressive one. She obviously recommended the more aggressive one, but she's like, just in the long run, like for your menopause, your like for like your uterus area, all that, you know,
to be able to
like all that again. Like there's a probability that obviously you could get all that. It'll affect obviously all your insides, but we're worried, like not worried, but like obviously since she's so young and only has 1 baby, like that's a thought that's something she should think about, you know, that you know it can affect her whole system down there, that maybe she might not be able to have more kids.
Yeah,
you know?
so like the whole extracting, you know, my eggs and all that, taking them out before I start chemo is more like a just in case. What were you saying?
She said like if that's not one of her worries about, you know, having more kids, she's like, then obviously they can start the process for her starting chemo sooner, yeah. So yeah, we're just waiting for them to give her the call and ask the questions and see what the best options are, and then
actually I got a call today, which I'm gonna call her back after this, but I got a call today of the girl, because I also need to do a CT scan of the girl telling me, like, you know, she called me to ask questions. She gave me the option. She's like, I could give you Eminate's like number and you could call to make your cita. She's like, or I could do it for you. And I was like, would you be a lamb and do it for me? Because dude,
would you do your job?
All this confusion. So she just had asked me questions like low pressure, are you like diabetic, all that, whatever. And so she's like, I'll call you back when I have your appointment, which I missed. I need to call her back. Yeah, but then I did ask about the specialist I need to see of the chemo or whatever, and she told me that she's like, oh, I see here that you have a referral, but it hasn't been approved by your insurance. I'm like, okay. So she's like, hopefully, you know, once your insurance gets back to us and stuff like that, then all that. So yeah.
Well, they need to hurry up. If not, you need to call your insurance and tell them, like, I have a referral pending.
I literally have until the 26th, which is when my doctor's gonna see me again, or whatever, for me to get that done, because then that's when we're gonna start talking about like chemo and all that. So
all of the options.
Yeah. But I think that's pretty much it.
That's so far the update. That's so far.
Yeah, so far, what's
been going on.
Yeah, let me see. Let me look at my
notes, you know. All in all, obviously, you know, the news, the surgery, all that has been, like, unfortunate, obviously. But I'm telling her, like, dude, let's remain positive, which we have been. I was like, there's been nothing but good things happening. Yes, you got diagnosed with cancer. Yes, you had to have surgery. Yes, you're going to do chemo. I was like, but, like, look, now you're cancer-free. You don't have that anymore. Your surgery went well. The doctor caught that cyst. Like, you know, I was like, let's just look at it like through the very like positive side of things, and then just, you know, keep it pushing and hope for the best.
And like, you know, my situation like this, you know, I'm very grateful because I have my son already. You know, so honestly, I would want to grow my family, but like, if I'm being completely honest, right now in this
like moment, it's not a priority.
That is not right one of my priorities, you know, to be able to get pregnant again. No, si se va a poder, you know. Obviously, I'm still gonna look into all these like resources and stuff like that. But right now, options. My like main focus is getting rid of, you know, this lingering cancer. If, you know, obviously they say there's none, but it's because the immature teratoma is made out of cells and
like really small.
Yeah, the doctor says that there could be like very, very puny like cells, where like to the point where they can't see them when they do a CT scan, or like when they do like blood work or any type of like testing, that they're not visible because that's how small they are. So I'm like, we're 2026. How do you know how the technology for that?
I'd say.
Anyway,
which is why she's gonna do chemo, even though everything
to like
came back
completely
negative.
completely literally like zap it from like the root
to like not even risk it, like not take any chances.
Yeah.
And then obviously after she does all that, the doctor said like, well, it's a matter of like just doing like your yearly or
it's like yearly,
half a year, whatever, every 6 months her checkups.
I think at first it starts with like
to make
months,
sure,
and then it goes to like years, and then years or whatever to like check it and stuff. So yeah,
pretty much
right now it's just a waiting game until I go back to until I get my CT scan done, and then go back to see my doctor on the 26th.
Wait, you go back to work this month?
Oh yeah, I go back to work this month on the 20th. Yeah,
but that might also be like, I mean, she's gonna go back, but she'll probably just go like be on leave again since she's gonna start chemo and all that.
Yeah, so yeah, but I really do enjoy this job, so that's why I'm not like
yeah,
but I mean, at the end of the day, who likes to work? You know what I mean? Who likes to work?
I like to work, dude.
You know that.
I've been working for like
so I'm just like, no haremos.
And it'll probably do her good too, to be active, que se salga ya con los mocosos,
Yeah. See.
But yeah.
I think that's pretty much
it.
We got it. We got it all,
right on time, because I gotta go pick up my son.
Oh, girl.
Actually, I need to see if Alberto is gonna work overtime, because
who even is that, bro?
He could go pick him up.
That's her roommate.
Yeah, well, that's my roommate, guys.
I think we got it all. I think so. We did. Yeah. Well, that was it for this episode. Episode 3. Wow,
technically the next episode is gonna be about discussing
the next episode about this.
Chemo.
I don't think the 4th episode. 4th episode is probably gonna be something else.
Oh, like a side topic.
So I don't have to wait that long to film another video. It's gonna be like a different topic or whatever. I think like here on out is gonna be different topics between these type of episodes, because it's a waiting process. It's a long process. So yeah. And
until there's another good like update.
Maybe next episode I'll have the 2 kids.
What do we do? A little mukbang type of podcast.
Probably.
Let us know down in the comments.
Anyways, alright. Well, this is it. Thanks for being on my video. Get the fuck out.
Alright, I'm head out.
Okay, wow.
Oh, I cracked my... This
is it. Ready? 1, 2, 3. See ya,
mother suckers. I was like, what do we say?
Le.
Bye.
Ciao. Wait, what is this thing called? Surgery day? It's not my thing, right? Yeah, surgery day.
Yeah, surgery
/ recovery. Technically, because ando buena para gozar.
Dude, we gotta go out tomorrow. By the time you guys see this, we already went to the club.
We're out in the club. Okay, oremos.